Imagine if you could buy a keyboard that fits your budget, looks beautiful, and also sounds better than most custom keyboards. That can exist, right? Well, today I'll be reviewing the Spectre 75, a keyboard that promises to deliver on everything mentioned and more for just under $90. The keyboard comes in a box and includes a braided USB cable, 4 candy red switches, keycap, a switch puller, a spacebar foam, and a screen replacement. Wait, this keyboard comes with a screen? Yes, but we'll talk about this more later. Coming back to the braided cable, it isn't really the pinnacle of cables. It does its job, you don't really move your keyboard a lot, so it shouldn't be an issue. But if you still can't stand the idea of a cable, guess what? The keyboard is also wireless and has a Bluetooth and a 2.4 GHz with between 400 to 20 hours depending on the RGB level. Personally, I use this keyboard mainly in wired mode, so I couldn't really test the battery life. In my opinion, you're getting a lot of items in the box, but now that we said it was in the box, let's move to the keyboard itself. The keyboard is a 75%, which is my favorite layout by the way. The keyboard comes in a black and white variant. Personally, I went with the black variant because of how cleanly the keycaps and the keyboard match. Like, tell me this ain't clean as hell. The black and white font just makes me want to stare at the keyboard for hours. The keycaps are also double shot PBT, which means they are very high quality. There's also not a single build quality issue on this keyboard, and in case anybody is wondering, yes, this keyboard is compatible with Mac OS as well. From the website you can also pick between their own custom Coca Brown switches and the Candy Red switches. I personally picked the latter, and let me tell you, these switches are buttery smooth. The lubing is done really well, so big props for them for that. There are also definitely an upgrade from the basic Autemu or Cherry switches. Don't worry, there will be a sound test later in the video. I forgot to mention, but the keyboard also a 5-pin hot swap, so if you have your own switches, you can easily replace them. When it comes to the stabilizers, they are pretty good. On the website it says that they are the V2 stabilizers, and they do their job. They stabilize the spacebar and other keys really well. But in the year 2024, you need more than good switches and stabilizers to make a good keyboard. You also need foam, which luckily they put a bunch of it, and I mean a bunch. In this keyboard alone, there's not one, not 2, but 4 layers of foam, all meant to dampen and deepen the sound of the keyboard. However, what shocked me the most about this keyboard is that they have something called gasket mounting, which in short makes your keyboard bouncing and spring, helping the feel of the keyboard. In practice, the gasket mounting is definitely there, but it could have been better. This is by no means a major downside, but I just mentioned this so they can improve this in the future. Now here's how the keyboard sounds. Just want to make sure that everybody knows the sound depends on factors like the microphone, desk, and etc. So the keyboard most likely will sound a bit different when you'll have it in real life. Another subject I want to quickly touch on is the latency. I didn't notice a single delay on both the wireless and wired mode, so gaming is perfectly fine on this board. I perform just as well as on any other keyboard. Moving on to probably my favorite part of this keyboard is the LCD screen. And let me tell you, you can do a lot of things on this screen. The screen basically allows you to change everything on your keyboard on the spot without any software. For example, you can change the RGB, you can switch between Windows and Mac mode, check your CPU and GPU percentage, and more. But my favorite part has to be the GIFs. You can put any GIF on it, including all your favorite ones from Discord. This just adds so much customization and personality to the setup. And you can also do it from your Tecware app, which perfectly leads to my next point. The software for this keyboard, how do I say this, is really bad. It's really clunky and hard to maneuver. Luckily, the screen allows you to change 99% of things from it, but the times I use the software, it is a fucking drag. For example, when changing the GIFs in the software, the keyboard needs to be plugged in, which wasn't said in the software and made me really confused. It's a small things like this that make the user's experience worse. Finally, should you buy this keyboard? And in my opinion, if you're a person who wants a keyboard that sounds amazing, looks amazing, and has a lot of features for a budget price, this is a keyboard just for you. Besides the software, the keyboard has no major issues, and if I were to give a score from 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 9. I'm just really impressed by this keyboard, and Tecware did an amazing job with the keyboard. Anyway, thank you for watching. I forgot to say this, the keyboard was sent out by Tecware before the release, but in no way, shape or form did this affect my review. Tell me what you think about this keyboard in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.